morning. So this is called a Collagraph print, and it's basically just cereal box cardboard, and you can cut it into whatever shape you want. Put it on just another piece of the cereal box cardboard, and it lifts up just a little bit as a relief, and we can create these really cool prints. Now, I've cut out some leaves here. You can cut something that takes up the entire piece of cardboard that's having good composition, right? And a little bit of glue goes a long way, so just a little bit. I can even smear it around with my finger if I want to. And so you want to think about when you're deciding what to put on here, you know, nature or a portrait or landscape, things like that. You do want to take up the entire picture plane that you have cut out. So this isn't too big, you know, maybe 9 by 12 or something like that. And I cut out some leaves. Odd numbers look really good together. For whatever reason, our brain likes odd numbers. I've got some texture here, crayon, the wrapper of the crayon, and I put it down here to create some interest. I also cut little slices in these leaves here, and a couple of them, and you can create other texture by taking a pair of scissors and just sort of scratching. Some of those scratches may show up, which could give your picture a really cool interest. Now, you're thinking, why are we just cutting out cardboard and making a picture? Are you going to paint it, or what are we going to do? Well, a Collagraph print is basically like a rubbing. So I'm going to put little texture lines maybe in these leaves here. And this rubbing will show up. We're going to put another piece of paper on top of it. You can see I did do a test run with this black piece of paper and a white crayon, and the crayon wrapper showed up here, and I only had 3 leaves at a time, and I do really enjoy this border around it. You can try other color pieces of paper, or try using just a white piece. Put it right on top, and then hold your crayon without the wrapper and push away, and you'll start to see your design take shape. Now I'm holding the paper pretty good. And I keep rubbing, and some of those little scratch marks show up. And I can see that. That's really cool. I like the way that looks. Now you can do another rubbing, maybe in a different color. You can add on to this. Once this is done, you take this off and you draw into it, creating more interest. Use a ballpoint pen, use a marker, use some paint. Do a double rubbing. So I did green, and a complementary color of green is red. So I might take this, it's a little bit more like magenta, but I can take this and go over it to create sort of like this negative image next to it, which makes it look really cool. A little bit off center, not perfectly lined up. Makes things appear really, really cool. And I can see the edge of the board, which is totally fine. Really, really interesting. I love that. So what you can do then is you can go back into it, you can draw, you can do many colors, and it turns out really, really interesting. I want you to try this. I want you to build up the surface, have multiple textures. I want it to be about this size, whatever you can get your hands on. You know, a cereal box a piece of cardboard. You can even try different textures. You know, like I said, I glued down this crayon wrapper. If you have little shapes of something else, see what other textures feel like. These little foam shapes would create a more softer texture. My daughter made a beautiful one with chickens. She cut out little chickens. This was hers. And the foam created a nice soft feel to it. So you can do this. You can elevate it. You can make it really cool. So I definitely want multiple textures, 3 or more. So I've got the scratching in, I've got the crayon wrapper and the cardboard itself. Cut little shapes, make it interesting. If you do different colors, maybe you could go back in. We could create, this is a spring green color. You know, you can go back in and add in some details with that to create highlights. I know that's really hard to see on camera, but maybe an orange would work, you know, to create some cool interest or things like that, okay? So think about what you want to do on here. Remember, composition, taking up the entire piece of paper, textures, interest, create details in the shapes that you're using for your cardboard. All right, you guys have a great day.